Hello, everybody. Scott Golden with the World Class Championship Wrestling Review Series, and we are fast approaching the end of June in 1988. June the 25th is this particular episode. We open with Iceman King Parsons and Sweet Brown Sugar. They have wrestled before, I believe, even as a team several years ago. If you follow the whole thing, which, by the way, by the end, 335, 340 episodes, the most single comprehensive audio version of a review of the World Class Territory online, I think anywhere. Yes, there are some missing episodes, probably about 10 to 15 of them over the 7-year history of the company, but certainly not anything to sneeze at. Both guys lock up pretty simply and easily here. Ice takes, I guess, some really basic stuff. Sweet Brown Sugar still looks good. Drop kicks and the like. Sugar, obviously, your baby face. Ice, your heel. Them being former tag team champions does factor in here a little bit. I don't think the announcer does enough storytelling with that aspect of things. Sugar remains on the offense during the early stages of the match. Parsons really good with selling and trying to get an advantage for his partner. And so then we go to the latter part of the match. Roll-up attempted, and then Ice manages to grab some tights. 1, 2, 3. Gets a cheating win. Iceman joins forces with Skandor Akbar, which is kind of an interesting thing. Basically, the implication is made that Ice is the former and should be current world champion. Also, he mentions getting paid very well by Akbar, getting anything he wants. Cars, women, attention, other better pay, etc. Then we go to the Samoan SWAT team versus Rick Hazards and Jeff Rance. Samoans are looking fearsome as always. Samu and Fatu, they are obviously members of the Island Boys, so to speak, and then we kind of see a really basic match break down. Kicks by one half of the head shrinkers, or in this case the Samoans. Irish whip. Rand does not do very well. Gets drop kicked right in the face. This is meant to be a showcase match for the Samoans, and then the tag off to the tag partner here. Both guys, actually an inside-out flip by Rick Hazard, the former referee. Big super kick style maneuver, and one of the Samoans goes to the top rope with a reverse suplex, followed by a big splash from the other Samoan. 1, 2, 3. Samoan SWAT team is victorious. Iceman King Parsons will be back out later, but for this moment, Sean Simpson guarantees his brother will return, guarantees they're not going to play nicely with anybody, and that they want the tag titles back from Victory and Tatum. Not a big surprise there. I mean, I think they carried this feud too long, but I don't think they had enough teams to make things work. It is what it is as far as that's concerned, and Iceman King Parsons comes in. He's out of control. He's managing a few strikes, hits the butt on an already prone opponent, and basically the idea is Parsons grabs a steel chair and manages to lay his opponent out pretty aggressively. Comments from Kerry Von Erich and Michael Hayes. They admit that teaming together is kind of weird. They also admit to wanting to get rid of Akbar, Kamala, and Akbar's charges. Basically, they are the odd couple of professional wrestling. Steve Casey challenges Eric Emery for the the light heavyweight championship. Doesn't really get a lot done there, but powder into the eyes of Emery, and nothing really gets done there. There is a visual pin victory from an earlier match with Casey over Emery in a tag team match situation. Eric Emery versus Jason Sterling. Emery, who within a couple of months here will start challenging everyone in the world for his light heavyweight world championship. This time, though, kind of ends up in armbar land and the like from Sterling. Sterling cranks on the armbar for several minutes, and just over halfway through the program, you see a lot more shorter matches. You see a lot less challenges. Emery does get your victory here with after getting monkey flipped out of the corner and a drop kick. Emery sneaks by with the victory with a short lariat, and then manages to bring his opponent up, hit a pile driver, and it is relatively over. Actually, almost like a jumping, falling pile driver combination. Victory for him. Basically, Tatum and Victory out next, saying they're unified champions, saying they're the best in the world. They address John Simpson, or Steve Simpson, say that the odds of his return are majorly overblown. They feel they're being disrespected. They're being held back from doing other things outside the wrestling world, etc. and so forth. Mike Reed, returning as an enhancement talent here, versus Jimmy Jack Funk. Jimmy Jack Funk off of WWF TV, not too terribly, less than a year before. He by any stretch, he's not a big deal, but Reed does manage to go behind him, attempt to get a victory, but they do the rope clothesline thing. Funk uses every illegal and legal advantage he can get for the next little while, including a neck breaker. Funk tries to get a kind of a standing spinning power slam, followed by a top or second rope fist drop. Not sure how smart that is with Lawler coming in, but anyway, Funk gets the victory there. Jerry Lawler and Terry Taylor up next to get nearly 15 minutes, 12 minutes or so out of that is kind of surprising. Lawler and Taylor, not something I knew I wanted to see until it was put in front of me. Lawler does come out as the AWA champion. Kerry Von Erich basically says that he is willing to fight Jerry Lawler in a unified match. Kerry says that he has this idea. Lawler contests that it's his idea. Needless to say, AWA versus World Class is where things are going to go in the upcoming future. Lawler says he is by far the better individual. Lawler and Taylor do eventually go at it. Taylor takes the cheap shots. Lawler, not really a babyface in the area, and his challenges of Kerry Von Erich don't help his cause, but in comparison to Taylor, I think he's more a babyface on this particular edition than would be average. Obviously, Jerry Lawler is a big deal. Can't wait to cover CWA/USWA at some point down the road in an episodic manner like I've done here with World Class. That will be a really good time. But anyway, Jerry Lawler, manages to keep things going extremely slowly. He and Taylor keep their arms up. They don't really do a heck of a lot. They've only got, I think in total, maybe 4 minutes, something like that, 5 minutes of television time remaining even when they get in there. Taylor with a cheap shot, and he's willing to take a few extra shots nails Lawler several times. Actually, kind of does punches in the same way or similar to Lawler. And Lawler is waiting for Taylor to come back in. Taylor stumbling around, manages to make a big deal out of things. Lawler here takes Taylor to the buckle, and eventually we do run out of TV time. So yet another non-finish. Not a fan of this, and to me that's kind of killing things. But anyway, until next time, we will be back with more right after this.